When one looks at the prominent types of medicine that were practiced among the educated physicians, there were a myriad of schools of thinking. And the irony is, of course, is that while you had all of these different schools of thinking, what they used, what they practiced, didn't vary much. You had bleeding, you had venesection and arteriotomy, blistering, you had sweating, puking, evacuations. And then in order to do that, you had a limited supply really of medicines. You had opium, you had mercury, you had tartar-emetic, you had jalap, and a few others, but that's what people relied upon. What I find interesting is that American medicine takes a different track. At least they try to. If you read the diaries or the letters of some of the early American physicians, you see that they are struggling to find what they call a truly American practice. You can go even to Thomas Jefferson, and he wrote a letter to Caspar Worcester in Philadelphia because the Americans had won independence. Why not find that same independent spirit in medicine, not just in politics? There was a feeling at the time, actually it was both folklore and it was held by a lot of educated as well as uneducated people, and that was that the Creator made sure with the people that populated a given area that there was sufficient flora and fauna from which medicines could be made that could correct the problems, the illnesses, the diseases of those regions. And so you take that idea, and then you take this other idea which William Cullen from Edinburgh once said, that every man should be able to choose a doctor the same way he chose a wife or his tailor. And you get this idea then that the Americans were going to try to improvise. Once people saw that Orthodox medicine or proto-Orthodoxy was not really incumbent upon what they wanted, and when you have a marketplace opening up, particularly in the United States, then who's to stop you from what you want to do? And so I think medicine is so much then like Protestantism, in the sense that you have maybe the homeopaths at one end, and then it extends on into a number of sects, including hydropathy, mesmerism, and an assortment of things that are just, we could be here for days talking about how many of these different groups there are. And the challenge was to find what was best out of each philosophy, what was true out of each philosophy. And then once that was found, to bring it together in a way that would make sense, so that you have a more synoptic philosophy representative of all of them, or the best of all of them. And so you also saw that among the eclectics, that they wanted a middle ground. They called themselves, in fact, the middle way at times, which is that they wanted to find the best out of all the various sects of medicine, and to bring the best of them together into a single practice. It was a matter of what was right, what worked that did not harm someone. So you could use anything from any philosophy, provided it did not harm the patient. That's what the eclectics were all about.